A stalwart venue in USL League One history makes its entrance to the 2023 season with Madison and Greenville doing battle here, presented by Dairyland. Breese Stevens Field, we all know it. Fans across the league admire the energy that comes with playing here from the fans that are always cheering game in and game out. So we welcome you to the first game this season at this site as we look at the standings presented by Dairyland. Forward Madison and Greenville, both without a victory so far. The Triumph 0-2-0 to start off. Madison haven't won a game. They also haven't lost a game in league play yet. 2 draws to start off the season, but they did lose on Tuesday, and a lot of that was with some defensive backline mistakes and errors at the end of that Open Cup matchup. Mitch Osmond, one of the anchors on that backline, will be looking to whip things back into shape here in the next 90 minutes. Can't be having those careless mistakes they had in that game. And if there's anybody who will right the ship along those tiers of backline players, defenders, it will be Osmond. They'll be looking to organize things back into place. Meanwhile, for the Triumph, they'll be looking to keep that from happening, and Devin Boyce will be one of the men spearheading that effort. He did everything. He created havoc, mayhem, mischief for Union Omaha back in 2021, and he's looking to unlock that sort of energy here with the Greenville Triumph. They haven't quite gotten it to click offensively yet, but if any player can provide chances, they know Devin Boyce can, and John Harkes' side will be looking for him to do just that in these next 90 minutes against the Mingos on the road and find their first win of the season if possible. Well, this should be a good one. It's too early in the season to say it's a desperation game, but boy, would 3 points do wonders for confidence for either of these two sides. We've got lineups and kickoff coming up next on ESPN+. We'll see you on the other side.
Thank you. Hey, excuse me, are you ready? Can I order now? Yeah, okay. I will take a large quad, 2-shot macchiato, no sugar, 2 pumps of vanilla, half pump caramel, non-fat milk, and not too hot, please. Very little ice. Honey, I said just a second. Ow.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
For a warm and inviting space to grab a quick meal or gathering the whole family, come into Gooseberry on the Square. Our made-from-scratch fare that is delicious, satisfying, and healthy. Plus, we're serving up breakfast and lunch all day long. Be sure to stop in and craft the salad of your dreams at the largest salad bar on the Square, featuring 70 items and 2 homemade soups. Gooseberry on the Square, open 5 days a week from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Stop on in today.
Tonight's Dental Health Associates fan of the game is Mike Van Natta. Thank you for going full Mingo. Procession here at Breese Stevens Field for the first time in league play this season as Forward Madison and the Greenville Triumph prepare to do battle here, presented by Dairyland. Once again, we welcome you here on ESPN+. If you couldn't make it to the game, I welcome you here. Of course, being at the environment in the energy at Breese Stevens Field is the #1 way to view the beautiful game. But this is the second best option, so we appreciate you tuning in, and we look forward to getting this match underway between these two sides, as both are sporting some relatively new versus incredibly new unis today, both of them looking very sharp. Let's take a look at those starting lineups brought to you by Madison Concourse Hotel. Starting with the home side in their newly unveiled uniforms, 4-3-3, 0 changes for Matt Glazer in comparison to their last league game against Lexington. They did shake up their lineup quite a bit in that Open Cup match. But as far as in league play, it is the same starting 11 that they trotted out with a week ago when they played in Lexington. They'll look to create some chances for those top three. Onan, Cheney, Cicero, all of them will be asked to try and finally put some into the back of the net. It was a 0-0 draw last week. Meanwhile, for Greenville, 4 changes, still trying to get the health back. Players collecting injuries, other players returning from injuries. Alan Gavilania is getting the start once again. He is so crucial to developing chances for the likes of Labovitz and Castro today. And I would expect Devin Boyce to cheat up further than Aaron Walker does in that middle 4. But we'll see how the shape truly pans out today. Daniel Wu also getting another opportunity to start along that back line with Evan Lee and Tyler Polak. They're on in their lunar kits for the first time. Well, they did actually sport them last weekend. And you can already hear it loud and clear. The flock end, the Madison faithful in general. A beautiful day, 74 degrees in Madison, Wisconsin. 74, 73 degrees roughly. As Rebecca Pagan, our head official, looks to get things underway. Madison will be going left to right. Meanwhile, Greenville right to left. Flamingos donning their brand new uniforms. They unveiled them yesterday on social media. And here we go. 2 sides looking for their first win this season. Can either of them claim it tonight or this evening? That one cleared away by Evan Lee and shot right into the stands. Now to keep your head on the swivel. Always wonderful to get games back here. Cicero plays this one in the middle, and it's pinged out a play by Aaron Walker towards his own goal. He's got to be careful in situations like that, but Walker, a competent footballer himself, more than capable for the occasion. And we got a corner kick. Our first UW Health Sports Medicine corner kick of the season. And it'll be Isidro Martinez who will take this one. Martinez plays it centrally. It's headed on goal, but it's pulled away with 2 hands by Mazzola. And it's Mitch Osmond, our player to watch. Coming in on the offensive end, trying to spark something wickedly early in this game for forward Madison. Clean contact. Mazzola had himself positioned in the right spot, though. He just had to get his hands in the air and parry it correctly. Martinez serves it in again. That one made contact with the teammate, but didn't go anywhere towards goal. That was Jacob Kroll. Another nice target along that back line for Martinez to serve in all those corner kick moments. They have gotten things going early here, Madison. Briefly mentioned a 0-0 draw on the road against Lexington Sporting Club as Gavilanias runs this down, and it's cleared away by Timmy Melt, the former Red Wolf. Talking to Matt Glazer, the head man for Madison. Talking about that Lexington game, you mentioned that it was the home opener, of course, for Lexington Sporting Club, and that their opposition were juiced and motivated. He says it always makes for a tough game when you're at their first ever home game, and home match, excuse me. He did want a goal in that matchup. He said we create a lot of chances, and you gotta put them away. As Cheney plays it centrally. Onan to the left-hand side. Cicero shoots, and it's off the mark. Another promising run moment for Forward Madison here early on. Both sides in that game last week had moments, had chances, just couldn't put them away. Madison in particular had many opportunities, and for one reason or another, just didn't convert into points on the board. You can see early on in this one that their goal and their intention is to not let that result happen again. Offside flag goes up, keeping Leo Castro from hacking away at it. Meanwhile, for John Harkes' side, 0-2 to start the season, lost in the Open Cup as well. As Payne collects it. Cuts to his right, shakes by Gavilanes. But then his touch is too heavy, and Tyler Polak comes sliding in nicely, clears that one away. Two of them pat each other after that exchange. Tyler Polak, of course, the staple player for this Greenville side. There will be another corner kick brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. Martinez taking it over. Already their third corner of the day. Martinez serves it in. Still going around! Oh my word! A springing save from Mazzola. Jacob Kroll put that one on frame, but the 24-year-old goalkeeper was able to fly into action. Just parries it forward, and Mazzola hops up and punches that one away. I already know he's warmed up. Already had 2 shots flash before him. So here we go again. Service comes in, and it's headed away by Daniel Wu. Corner kick number 5, and we've just surpassed 5 minutes in this game. Another UW Health Sports Medicine corner kick. Martinez serves it in, headed away. I believe that was by Devin Boyce. This one locked back into action, and Mazzola can't get to it to follow through. He absolutely skies it. Jacob Kroll with an open goal in front of him could not bring the ball down. Oh my goodness. Mazzola can't keep his hands on it, and Kroll just gets all underneath that ball. That is a crushing missed chance for Madison. Somehow this game is still 0-0 as Boyce plays it forward. Looking for, that's Labovitz. Now Gavilanes, it's cleared away. Tevin Shaw trying to head it back to Polak. And that'll be a free kick for Madison. Wow. Greenville fans, count yourself lucky after that one. If you had a chance to change the flow of this game a little bit early on, that is the moment to take it. And Boyce with the giveaway, plays to the left-hand side. Here's a touch. Gavilanes shoots, and it rolls into the hands of Bernd Shipman. First promising moment of the day for Greenville. Cheney will play it back to Jacob Kroll. Talking about Greenville and how their season has started. John Hark said, we're adjusting. We've gone through some adversity early in this year. He mentioned that logistically the Phoenix trip was tough, and then they had a quick turnaround going to Tormenta. Then they get a devastating non-penalty call, or call back, however you want to describe it. He mentioned it's been hard. We're coming together as a result of that. So maybe some quick group bonding. It's usually not in the good times that players get close. It's when they're facing some of that adversity that things really come together. And then when the good moments come, you really get to appreciate where you've come from. And talking about tough moments, on Tuesday, Madison, in just brutal fashion, losing in the Open Cup, up 2 goals with about 15 minutes to go. Chicago House with 2 before the end of regulation, and then scoring again in extra time to win 3-2 here at Breese-Stevens Field. That ball will go all the way down. Mazzola will clear it away. That was a bit closer than maybe he would have liked. But just a tough loss for Madison. So here they come once again. This ball played forward. Mazzola is there for it. He quickly distributes it. And all 3 goals, in one way or another, were sloppy concessions from Madison. Careless giveaway, poor organization, things along those lines. And when I talked to Matt Glazer about it, I asked him, is this sort of a game that you go, all right, that's a lesson learned game. You watch the tape and then you don't think about it again. You make sure it doesn't happen again, and then that's the end of it. And he said, yeah, kind of along those lines. And he also mentioned we don't have a lot of time to feel sorry for ourselves, and he just felt that game wasn't them. This one's chested down. Castro trying to backheel it away. Boyce back to Castro. This one popped in, and as we take a look at our Dairyland Insurance keys to the game for Madison, and they've already accomplished this. Generate excitement. They're trying to find those goals. They have everything it takes to create them. They just got to put them away. And it's important. And then for Greenville, load the cannons. And what I mean by that is they've been working on connecting between their midfield and pushing forward and creating those opportunities. Give your goal scorers the chance to score some goals. Put yourself in good spots. As I was saying, Matt Glazer mentioned, we have a lot of quality. That game just wasn't us. And when I followed up and asked, is there a way you can kind of train out goals that you conceded like that, where it was just a mistake? Is that even a thing you can really work on, especially when the players are fully cognizant of what went wrong and why it went wrong? And he said, no, you don't really train that outside of just building confidence in players. Onan. Nice ball forward, but Polak heads it away. But a follow-through is going to go in. And the Mingos strike first. Derek Gebhardt with his first goal of the season. They just kept throwing punches, and one finally fell through. Polak had to do something because Sachero was right behind him. But Gebhardt was on the other end of it and knotted that one through. A long-time Mingo at this point. Derek Gebhardt stepping up to the plate and scoring the first goal at Breese-Stevens Field this season in League One play. And well-deserved up to this point. Forward Madison with the advantage now. Oh, we just talked moments ago, generate excitement. They've created chance after chance to start off this affair, and now they've got a goal to reward themselves for it. Let's see how the visitors are able to respond to this. Here's Boyce. That's the kind of player who can create a spark. Polak rolls it forward for Gavilanes. And that'll be a free kick for Greenville. John Hart's the man in charge for Greenville. Felt really good about training this week for his guys. Thought they were really accomplishing some things, and he talked about that Tormenta game last weekend, a 2-0 loss, and he mentioned there's some good things in there, and we had some positives personnel-wise, like Jonah Bigger getting the chance to start and play. He mentioned we also made some mistakes, which happens, but we also created some good chances. He looked at a lot of things in that game, and he felt things are pretty positive this week in preparation for this affair. Let's see if they can respond here after going a goal down and pretty much having to bunker in a flurry of chances from forward Madison. Service pings around a couple of times and over into the flock end. We'll say Bernd Shipman, the keeper, having to stare into the sun right now. I do not envy his position between the sticks, especially on those set pieces. A lot of sunglasses and hands over eyebrows over there in the flock end, trying to make out what's going on as the sun begins to set. Gavilanes pops this one forward. Shaw exchanges it right back. Onan heads it up, and now Martinez with the ball. Martinez leads Onan on nicely. Onan across the center. It's just too far ahead of Sachero, but he can keep it in play, and he will. Nice slip through. This ball across and has too much air underneath it, and it'll go out for a goal kick. I tell you what, anytime Madison has looked to push forward, they've been pretty effective and lethal. Every chance has looked pretty good and promises a dangerous moment for them. And that's not always the easiest thing against these Greenville sides. Matt Glazer mentioned that it's always a tough game playing against the Triumph. They're always motivated by John Harks, and we have to find a way to break them down. As Labovitz heads it forward. That one knocked away by Kroll. We're looking forward to it. Improving ourselves was the sort of vibe I was getting from Matt Glazer when it came to Madison playing the Triumph. And they have come out showing all of that and more here in the first 15 or so minutes. It has been impressive, to say the least. Impressive and aggressive. As take a moment to mention Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL League One and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit www.selectsportamerica.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. There we go. Boyce serving this one in. Still up in the air inside the 18. Touch there from Gavilanes. Not sure if he was trying to bring it in or if he was setting up his partner in crime there. There's another look at it. A lot of sunglasses. The wiser prevailed today in the flock end when it came to that. Once that sun dips over the building, they'll all be good. Of course, that'll also mean it'll get a bit chillier, but it's 73, 72 degrees right now. I don't think it's going to get too cold for the locals of Madison, Wisconsin. Well, they had a lot to cheer for before the game started, and they have even more so now. Cheney winding around. Plays that shot forward, but it's not too dangerous for Mazzola. Been a busy man to start. I believe that's the 4th shot on target for Madison. Castro plays it to Shaw. That'll be Boyce moving forward. Talking about this Madison team with John Harkes, he said that they're a good side. Mentioned last year, Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu pulls the strings. He's on the bench today. Gavilanes gets that one knocked out. I mentioned just how talented this side is. And I think an interesting thing for both these teams, when talking to these coaches, is that both sides looking to find some strength in the adversity early in this season. And right now, it's Madison who have come out responding after that loss on Tuesday. But we get to see now how the Triumph respond to going down a goal once again. Boyce brings it forward. Tight pass inside. It's Boyce again. Boyce decides to shoot, and it's just off the mark. And I can't say I disagree with taking shots, especially while the sun is still blaring on the face of Bernd Shipman. Let them fly while he's squinting. I don't know how much time you have left with that luxury. This is the home opener once again for the season in league play for Madison at Breese-Stevens Field. Celebrating 5 years of Forward Madison soccer here this evening. Of course, 4 of them being here, or this being the 4th year at Breese-Stevens Field. And of course, had the 2020 year where everything kind of got put into jeopardy as far as where people were playing. They gave out free match posters for fans to pick up on site. It's a collage of different players and moments in Madison history. This one's headed upward. Wu, with a second attempt, is able to get it to Mazzola. 2 young guys combining to make sure nothing dangerous happened there. But players, moments that are ingrained in the club's history are on that poster. Of course, Madison fans will feel sentimental about some of the faces on there. Players that are still here, players that have moved on to other things. I also think, which is interesting, is this game's theme night is guaranteed win night for Forward Madison. Guaranteeing a win today against Greenville, and if they don't win, then any fan who comes receives a free ticket to a future match, which I think is both great banter, but also an excellent promotion.
Oh man, that'd be cool.
As far as that guarantee is concerned, they're doing well to look the part so far. Martinez is able to just get that one out. Madison will push it forward once again. Here's Macias. Tyler Polak is able to win that ball back for the Triumph. But that was a brief stint of possession for the visitors. Payne keeps it in and is is able to win the corner kick. I don't know where he slipped up and lost his footing, but he's able to salvage the moment and give forward Madison another corner kick, which is number 6 here this evening. Martinez getting some coaching and words from Matt Glazer. Already looked especially dangerous on these corner kicks as they look to double their advantage here. Martinez plays it inside, skips a couple times, and will find its way out. Gebhard, the goal scorer, plays it to the left. Gebhard again. Tight pass inside, shot towards goal and into the hands of Mazzola. It's Jacob Kroll again. I'm sure he'd love to get one into the back of the net. Trying to find Pilato there, Castro. And now it's Cicero. Martinez will tap it back, and Madison will plod this one forward. A busy day in League One. I saw earlier today North Carolina going on the road and beating Union Omaha, handing them their first loss of the season, which means at this point there are only 3 undefeated teams left in USL League One. One of them, of course, being forward Madison. They also haven't won a game yet, as we touch base on in the open. Northern Colorado also one of those teams. Still 0-0 with Richmond. A little over 2/3 of the way through that game. That exchange was nearly disastrous for Greenville. Jaden Onen came flying in on Mazzola. And the other undefeated team being the Jacks, sitting at the top of the table, Charlotte Independence. Labovitz can't get there in time. Instead, it's Timmy Mell. Timmy Mell, one of the 2 center backs for this Mingo side. Gavilanes hoofs this one into the 18. And it bounces a couple times. Cicero has it. Feeling pressure from Wu. And Wu does well there. Service floating inside. Cheney heads it away. Now Boyce volleys it towards goal. It went into a sea of bodies and didn't make it to the goal. But Boyce trying to pull something out of the hat. Walker. Another service into the 18, and it's just over the head of Castro. Couple of promising looks and moments there for the Triumph, but still haven't tested Shipment with too much danger. Well, let's take a look at our injury report, brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. Just one player for Madison, Azim Bartman. Meanwhile, for Greenville, it's a long list, and it's been a long list all season long so far for John Harkes' side, but the list is actually smaller than it was earlier this week when we got the injury report. A couple of players who were either out or questionable, starting and sitting on the bench. Just trying to get healthier, visitors. Labovitz, the benefactor of that effort from Aaron Walker, who went down after the transaction that took place, and they'll come back and check on him now. He's up and good again now. Wearing that captain's armband. Already 8 shots and 5 on target for Madison, 4 and 1 respectively for Greenville. As we approach a third of the way through this game. Walker. Hands it back to Polak. He's thinking about serving it in. He'll do so, floating it upward, and just over the head of Castro. He had both Leo Castro and Jacob Labovitz awaiting that service. Just grazed contact with the veteran forward. Cheney heads that one on, but none of his teammates anywhere in the vicinity. He plays it back to Mazzola. Onan, you know he's got the speed. He can't lollygag around with that ball. The Englishman's got some pace to him. For Greenville, one of the emphases this week in training was connecting that middle third to the attacking third, which was part of the reason why the key to the game was load the cannons. John Harks mentioned that discipline from the middle third to the attacking third has been one of our focuses, and also just transition moments, both offensively and defensively. Great chances can come when the ball is turned over, and you want to capitalize off of that. Gavilanes plays it in, and it's knocked away. Wu doing well there to battle off Christian Cheney. Marks mentioned also, how can we squeeze the game when we lose the ball? As Gavilanes swings it in, and it's headed out. Onan running forward. Now Sachero plays it back inside, and Wu provides the clearance. It's one of those transition moments in question. It'll be a Mingo throw. When I talked to Matt Glazer about what is the main point that'll win them the game here today, he mentioned that every game is different, and he was more on the end of, we'll see how the game develops, and then we'll learn what is going to be necessary. It's so early in the year, I think that's a pretty understandable take to have. Still got to figure out what this Greenville side is made of here, Madison. Payne plays this in. Sachero knocks it back for Kroll. Kroll sends it inside. Cheney can't get to it. Threw his leg up for it anyway, and he may have just tapped that ball. Looking for something dynamic there. Ultimately, we got to put the ball in the net, was the message that Matt Glazer was trying to get across to me. It's actually going to be a corner kick. Also grazed a Greenville player on the way out. So another UW Health Sports Medicine corner kick. Martinez serves this one in, and it's headed over. I think we've had a collision of heads here. Evan Lee immediately waving on the training staff. Always a dangerous moment there when players are all going up to head the ball. Always a rattling moment when that kind of collision occurs. This game slowing down for a moment here as we tend to these two players. Tough collision, a chance to take a breather though. I'd say a chance for Greenville to see if they can figure out a way to muster up a response before that halftime whistle. Daniel Wu and Timmy Mel, the ones up in the air on the collision. Both of them standing at 6 feet even. Just both looking to make a play on the ball on that corner kick. Timmy Mel seems to be all right. It's Daniel Wu that's still on the ground, being tended to. Greenville already have been struggling with player availability this season, especially along that back line. It's just one thing after another for them. Back up on his feet, which is always good. Just getting some pats of encouragement from Mazzola and Boyce as he makes his way to the bench. For now, at least, we'll see what the decision ultimately ends up being. Lost a towel on the way out. There you go. Get checked on now. Hoping the best for Wu here. We'll look at scores at halftime, but just to play a little spoiler here for you guys. Lexington has bagged in a goal against Tormenta in their second home game of the season. Lexington, that is. A familiar name for Greenville fans. Mr. Nico Brown, the one who put it through for Lexington. Played for the Triumph last season and had a goal or two himself in Triumph colors. Still 0-0 between the Kickers and the Hailstorm at City Stadium. They're approaching the 80th minute. Went for the go-ahead here. And we've got it. Headed forward and no one there to get it, so just pretty much going from one keeper to another in essence. that long pause. Let's see if either of these sides can pick things back up, of course, with time winding down here in the first half. There may not be enough time for things to get back into high gear. Of course, Madison didn't take long to get things going at the first whistle. So you never know. Don't miss a minute of the action in 2023, whether your club is on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of USL League One action on ESPN+, the home to the USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espn.com. One chested down by Walker, and now it's going to be a free kick for Greenville. Well, the sun is officially set down since we last got a look at Shipman. Gavilanes and Boyce on the end of this free kick. Gavilanes drives it inside, and it's headed away. Cicero trying to more properly clear it, but Greenville wins it back. Walker serving it inside, and it's headed away, out, and a corner kick for the visiting side. Minutes through, and it'll be Devin Boyce here on the left-hand corner. Boyce puts his hands up. Swings this one in, had it along. Wind-up shot from Shaw, and it rips off of Kroll and out for another corner kick. That wasn't a bad-looking take from Tevin Shaw. Definitely more known for his defensive abilities, but coming in hot here. And I think that one would have been a pretty heated chance to stop for Burnt Shipman. Ball comes in, nodded out. Shaw once again on it. Plays it out to Boyce. Boyce needs it for Gavilanes. He slips it right back through. Devin Boyce into the center, and it's backheeled out for another corner kick. Greenville cooking here late in the first half, looking for that equalizing goal. Can they find the seam? Gavilanes plays it inside, and it pops around a couple times and out. Not sure who that made contact off of, but given the confidence of one Noah Pilato, it's going to be a Greenville corner kick. And he plays it in. Gavilanes didn't hit that cleanly, and it's cleared out by Onan. Gavilanes sends it in once again. Touch from Castro. Here's Shaw. Gavilanes shakes to his left. Him and Payne have been going at it. And that one going off of Payne. And off of Gavilanes. They're going to say it's a goal kick. Well, those two have been going one-on-one over here in these flanks. Both quick and good with the ball at their feet, Stephen Payne and Alan Gavilanes. So this being the season opener at Brief Stevens Field, back in 2019 for their home opener for the first time ever. It was also for Madison against the Greenville Triumph. I asked John Harkes about that game, and he said he remembers it well. We called it Snowmageddon, because it did, in fact, snow that day, both before and during the match. He mentioned how they had to break out the shovel beforehand to clear out space for some small drills, just to find some way to warm up and get prepared. That'll always be a memorable moment etched in League One history. Walker holding forward with it, taps it to his right. Pilato. Boyce now will play it back for, I believe that's Daniel Wu, who nice to see back in the game. Always got to be cautious with those head injuries. Macias. Play it back and hope to see this one through here. At least until the halftime whistle. Cavalanez. Cleared away Martinez, can't turn around. Polak. Excuse me, that's Pilato. Now Boyce. Back over to Pilato. And a sliding challenge wins it back. Jacob Kroll doing well there. Now Gebhard on the breakaway on the other side. It's still Gebhard. Leaves it on for Onen. Onen across the center! Perfection in transition for the Mingos. Make it double the advantage as they counter with cutthroat precision. Mauro Cicero nodding that one home. Onen with the beautiful ball, and that could have gone to either Cicero or Payne. I think both of them were going to put it in. But it's Mauro Cicero scoring the goal here, getting his first of the season. And Onen with his first assist on the year. How about that on the breakaway, though? Simply excellent from Madison. And they're feeling very good now. As you see there, we had 6 minutes of stoppage time. Just been fantastic from Madison. Now Greenville very much in a hole. Devin Boyce. Cheney sort of bumbling into Tevin Shaw there. Couldn't quite get out of the way in time. Ran through him. It's pretty important for Greenville to, not necessarily here in the next few minutes before halftime to respond, but to show some bite in the second half at the very least. As Polak plays it in, and Cheney emphatically heads that one away. Cavalanez plays it forward. Walker looking about. Shaw with a loose touch, has to chase it down or else would be giving it away to Cheney and Onen for a breakaway. So you see the number 98, that's Daniel Wu wearing a new jersey and also has some bandaging on his head. Stephen Payne. Couple of heavy touches. He was able to keep it in play, though. Was chasing it down a little bit, though, for a moment. Nice from Payne there. In that moment to play it forward for Cicero. Polak wins it back, though. Well, in front of the new video board. It's the Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton video board. Put it in this offseason for Bree Stevens Field. It's double the size of the old board they had, and also can run replay, live video, and also show other sporting events. So maybe some watch parties will be taking place here at Bree Stevens Field. Maybe perhaps for the Milwaukee Bucks is this one. One back by Labovich. The shot on goal is straight down the middle. Not too much work for Bernd Shipman given the context of the situation. Aaron Walker will have liked to do better there with his placement. Now, granted, he did have Jacob Kroll bearing down on him, so he had to be hurried. And one half of that goal, not really an option to slot towards. So Walker will talk with Pilato. We'll look to carry on here as Gavilanes collects the ball, throws it in. Got another minute or so. And Payne plays it back to Shipman. Six shots on target for forward Madison. Just a flurry from them here in the first half. And this time, they have the goals to show for it. And as you would expect, great attendance at this game this Saturday evening in Madison, Wisconsin. Fans filled all around the perimeter. I've got to like how this first 50 minutes have transpired. Ooh, lays it to the right-hand side for Boyce. So they have one more moment before the whistle. Boyce still with it. He's able to win a corner kick here. Most likely the last moments here in the first half. Can Greenville have the deficit? Or will it be 2-0 going into the break? Boyce, high arching, headed down, still not out of the fray, and now cleared out. I believe that was Gebhardt, the first goal scorer, who got on it. I'll head back down to Shipman. Shipman will stall out more and more. Did get a goal in the added time here, and a player went down for a moment. But now we have gone a minute over the 6 allotted. Cheney heading it forward. And we're gonna get a free kick, and that is not a halftime whistle, that is a whistle for stoppage of play, but of the temporary variety. Polak skies this one forward. And there's the halftime whistle. It has been aggression and success for Madison after 50 minutes plus here in the first half of action. 2-0 the scoreline for the home side. They will be feeling good going into the dressing room, but they will not overlook the next 45 coming on the other end. We got a lot of good halftime content coming your way. We'll review highlights from last week and talk about some of the important buzzing news across the USL. Should be a lot of fun, so don't close your tab, turn off your screen, or however you're viewing us on ESPN+. 2-0 your score line after the first 45 plus. Madison leading 2-0. We'll see you after this break.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Thank you. Hey, excuse me, are you ready? Can I order now? Yeah, okay. I will take a large quad, 2-shot macchiato, no sugar, 2 pumps of vanilla, half pump caramel, non-fat milk, and not too hot, please. Very little ice. Honey, I said just a second. Ow.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person. With new vehicles arriving every day, your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Welcome to the Just Coffee Co-op halftime show. Here, your scoreline: Madison 2, Greenville 0. If you didn't catch the action last Saturday, we have some highlights coming up for you, so I'm going to step aside and let Donnie Barnes take it over from here to regale you all the action.
A full slate of games around League One last week. We start in Lexington, the first ever home match for Lexington SC, and they came so close to opening the scoring early on. What a save by Burns Shipman, denying Nico Brown. The follow-up looked like it was in, but it actually hits the football goalpost up top and nestles onto the roof of the net as it stayed 0-0. A great volleyed effort by Ates Diouf just over the bar. Those were the best chances Lexington would have in the first half. In the second half, it was Madison who came so close to winning it. This one clipping the base of the post from Mauro Cicero. It would stay 0-0, the first ever point in Lexington's history, as Sam Stockley and Matt Glazer embraced after a hard-fought draw. Then, the first ever Dogwood Derby. Not the first time these two clubs have matched up, of course, but the first time it's officially been known as the Dogwood Derby. And Olex Anderson would open the scoring for NCFC against their arch North Carolina rivals, Charlotte Independence. Great finish on a bouncing ball, tougher than it looks from an awkward angle. And it was 1-0 to North Carolina. But in the second half, Charlotte would hit back. Gabriel Oberton, you can't turn the ball over to him. And his, whether it was a shot or a cross, it was turned home by Dane Kelly. And it would end 1-1 in that derby meeting. Meanwhile, the first win of the new season for Chattanooga Red Wolves after they fell behind early in the second half. A penalty won by one Knox, and it would be dispatched by Ilya Illich. A little stutter-stepping run-up and sending the keeper the wrong way, freezing him in place, really. And so it was 1-0, 1 Knox in the 50th. But 10 minutes later, Chattanooga would equalize on a looping header from Andrew Pioli. Turns out to be a really good finish on the second ball from the corner, and it was 1-1. And then 15 minutes later, the Red Wolves finding the winner. Loose ball, again, the second ball working out for Chattanooga, and it was worked wide to Walter Varela. This is a cross, but it goes all the way through and squirms in at the far post. It was Varela's goal. There was no touch there on the sliding attempt. Didn't matter. Chattanooga turning it around and defeating 1 Knox 2-1 for a badly needed 3 points. Tormenta, an impressive victory. The defending champions pressing high up the pitch, winning this ball, and then look what they do with it from here. So coolly executed. The little back heel flick. Pedro Fonseca teeing up a nice finish from Jackson Coury for his first of the season. And then 15 minutes later, those two would combine again, this time in opposite fashion. First, great footwork by Kwele Akale to create the danger. And you pull this ball across the face of goal. Chaos from there, but look at the coolness this time from Coury to set up Fonseca. Those two had a great match, as did their teammates. 2-0 to the defending champions. Greenville losing their first 2 of the league campaign. Out west we went then, late at night out in California, Central Valley Fuego. Maybe had the better of the first half until this. 44th minute, what a lethal finish on the counterattack. We've seen Noe Meza do that plenty last year. Hit double figures in 2022. And that was his first of 2023. And the Owls led 1-0 at the break. And after a composed second half road performance by them, they put it to bed in the 88th. Great ball through from Alex Steinwasser, and Jonathan Dos Santos wrapped up 3 puntos for Los Burros. 2-0. Union Omaha over Central Valley Fuego. Then in midweek, Fuego on the road at 1 Knox. This has happened to Fuego too many times the last couple years. After they played well for much of the first half, a bad giveaway, and seconds later it's in the back of their net. What a finish, though, by Jake Keegan, the veteran, showing that veteran savvy, slamming that past the keeper. 1-0, 1 Knox, who again took a lead, again couldn't quite hang on. As they gave away a second half penalty, they didn't agree with the call, but the penalty was earned, and it was taken care of. It's about as long a run-up as you'll see, but Othniel Arce leveling it, hard-earned point on the road for Fuego to wrap up league play in week 4.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals. We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Thank you. Hey, excuse me, are you ready? Can I order now? Yeah, okay. I will take a large quad, 2-shot macchiato, no sugar, 2 pumps of vanilla, half pump caramel, non-fat milk, and not too hot, please. Very little ice. Honey, I said just a second. Ow.
Got some more halftime content to touch base on here on ESPN Plus. First off, our March awards have been dished out. Nil Vinyals and Mike Jeffries both able to win the Player and Coach of the Month awards, respectively. Meanwhile, Wolfgang Prentice, back into the League One fray, was with the Hailstorm last year on loan from the Oakland Roots, and now is with Ford Madison. We'll wait to see if he makes an appearance here in the second half. Might not need him. They're up 2 goals right now, but of course, you could always use some of his quickness on the pitch, whether you're looking for goals or looking to anchor down the ship. But as far as news is concerned in the USL, we'd be remiss if we did not talk about one Josh Winder, third player in USL history to receive a call-up to the United States men's national team, following Jonathan Gomez, a former Lou City standout, and Kobe Henry from Orange County. We'll look to see if he makes an appearance when they look to play against Mexico later this month on April 19th, so not that far away. We'll wait to see if he gets onto the pitch, but either way, the call-up, a massive achievement in the USL as a whole, and of course for Winder, so we congratulate him on that regard. Now let's take a look at our Team of the Week, some honors for guys across our league. Fonseca did really well last week. Bernd Shipman and Jacob Kroll, 2 Madison players, receiving some acknowledgement for their efforts in that 0-0 draw last weekend. Meanwhile, we do not see anybody from Greenville here. They'll look to change that here this week, here especially in this second half. As we now take a peek at what's coming up ahead, not here in the second half, but later this week as far as games and matchups are concerned. Starting on Wednesday, Greenville fans can look at that match against Central Valley Fuego at home, back in Greenville, South Carolina, and then they turn around and play Lexington on the weekend. Meanwhile, Madison, they get the weekend off, so pick a game, whichever one you really are looking forward to seeing. Got a lot of good options. You'll be able to see a lot of these, to be quite honest. But ultimately, it's League One. Every single game is worth tuning into and watching. Every team is capable of beating every team. And we've already seen it a bit this season. This upcoming schedule, of course, brought to you by Dairyland. With that in mind, we've got the highlights and the stats and the second half kickoff coming up next after this break. So we'll step aside for a moment, take a chance to recoup. We got 45 more minutes coming. We'll see you then.
Getting the exact vehicle you want is easy at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton. Come in and sit down with one of our sales professionals and build the Volkswagen you want. Pick all the features, order it, and then sit back and relax, knowing you're getting your dream vehicle. The best things in life are worth waiting for after all. Check out our selection online or in person, with new vehicles arriving every day. Your perfect Volkswagen could already be waiting for you at Zimbrick Volkswagen of Middleton.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget and 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, we've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Thank you. Hey, excuse me, are you ready? Can I order now? Yeah, okay. I will take a large quad, 2-shot macchiato, no sugar, 2 pumps of vanilla, half pump caramel, non-fat milk, and not too hot, please. Very little ice. Honey, I said just a second. Ow.
This is a Wisconsin Brewmaster. He brews the local craft beer. The beer that washes down the Oktoberfest brat. The brat that pairs with the potato salad. The potato salad that befriends the burger. The burger that tastes like victory. Festival Foods.
Let's take a look at the halftime highlights brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. Things were getting underway, and it didn't take long for the action to heat up here at Breese Stevens Field. As we welcome you back here on ESPN Plus, my name is Mark Schoenstert. Lot of moments early on. This header just over a minute into the game from Mitch Osmond. Mazzola was ready for it there, and he was also ready for that one. Sprung up, knocked it over, and And this moment right here, how that was not a goal, is going to haunt Jacob Kroll. But maybe not so much, given the fact that this one was able to find its way in. Not too long later, Derek Gebhardt nods it into the back of the net, makes it 1-0. Basks in the energy and the eruption of the fans in attendance. And then they would have another one after a couple of moments for Greenville. Here it is on the breakaway. Onan into the center. Sachero squares it home. So easy for him. Just strides over to the corner and celebrates. Up 2-0 over the Triumph. As we look at the stats, 10 shots, 6 of them on target for Madison in the first half. Greenville, though, with 6 shots and 2 of them on target themselves, so not a bad output from them in a typical game, but the Mingos have been conjuring chance after chance, even with 43% possession. All of these stats brought to you by Rhyme. The expected goal is 1.85 to 0.22. I think I can leave it to you to determine which of them belongs to which, as the sides have switched ends, and Greenville will look to be conjuring a comeback here. Whistle's blown. Let's see what we've got in store for us. Headed away by Gebhardt and out for a Greenville throw.
Number 5, Timmy Mel is off. Coming into the game, number 12, Sam Brotherton.
So we have at least one change to report to you. Sam Brotherton subbing into the game for Timmy Mel. Brotherton making his League One debut. Started in the Open Cup game on Tuesday. And a familiar name if you've been around Madison for a while. He played at University of Wisconsin. Former Badger. So that one knocks away. Jacob Blavovitz will be looking to find something to spark. So once again, to confirm with you, Sam Brotherton in, Timmy Mel out. That substitution brought to you by Festival Foods. Sachero, one of the 2 goal scorers, gets it backed away from him by Polak, but it wouldn't hold on to the ball for much longer. Know how to play. Got a better look at those new kits that the Mingos are sporting today. Announced it yesterday. It's their new home kit for the 2023 season. It was designed by creative director Will Jenkins. Got some iconic club phrases intertwined into the uniform. So for the Madison faithful, you get your chance to really get a good close-up look at it. Be able to spot where all of those are intertwined in. But here come Greenville. Gavilanes has it on the right-hand side. Plays back to the center. Pilato shoots, he curls it! And it's the top bins for Greenville. What a strike from Noah Pilato. And a much-needed response for the visitors. He turns, he shoots. Oh my goodness. Perfect placement. We knew he had it in him, Noah Pilato. He demonstrated it back in 2020. But a Pilato banger has returned to the surface. His 4th season with the club. And I talked to John Harkes about Pilato and how nice it is to have him back and healthy. And John Harkes said he fights for something greater than himself. And he mentioned, just think about this, despite his injury issues these past 2 seasons, we re-signed him. As Onan might respond on the other side. Onan can't get it by. Mazzola stretches out and saves it. Jaden Onan with a chance to return the 2-goal lead. Just a quick over-the-top pass. And Onan couldn't get it by the arms of Mazzola. It'll be a corner kick brought to you by UW Health Sports Medicine. Buckle up. Martinez with the service, and the header is not towards goal. Cheney brings it back inside, and Boyce heads it out. Gavilanes can't keep it in. But despite his injury problems, they re-signed Noah Pilato. And John Hark said, I think that says everything you need to know about him. Just how great of an asset he can be. I mentioned how good of an organizer Noah Pilato is, and he's also got that up his sleeve. Threaded pass through, well found. Still going with it, squared across the center, and it's an own goal. And Foreign Madison returned to a 2-goal lead just moments after allowing one. Stephen Payne on the breakaway. Squaring it across, and it came off of Daniel Wu. So it's back to 2 goals in front for the home side, as this one has opened up to a hot start in the first 5 minutes. 3 big chances, and 2 of them have found the back of the net. Stephen Payne, the one on the pass there. Of course, came over from the Richmond Kickers. Has played every minute so far in league play. Comes from Birmingham, Alabama. You know, he can be such an electric asset moving forward. And he's able to create the moment, the danger for Daniel Wu. The young rookie who's had a rough go of it here. The collision, an injury from the first half, and now that moment. That was carelessly given away. Labovitz plays it to the right-hand side for Gavilanes. Track back. It's knocked over by Gebhardt, but it's all fair play according to our official. Gebhardt forward for Onan. Cheney with some space. Cheney back across the center, but Polak just gets a piece of it. Castro chasing it, and Osman plays that one over the top and well out of reach for any of our ball kids on site to go and get it with quick precision and speed. That one will take some time to fetch. Daniel Wu. Nice ball inside. Labovitz misses it. And somehow, did that one not go in? Everyone's looking about. What is the decision here? I need to look at this again. Bit of a comical transpiring events here. Goes off of Osman, off the post, and off the face of Shipman. But it looks like a penalty's been given. Did it come off the arm of Osman? It looked like it came off his head there on the replay. I can't confirm with you what the decision was, but Aaron Walker with a chance to bring this back within one once again, wearing the captain's armband. It's Walker against Shipman. 32-year-old Aaron Walker from Woodstock, Georgia, takes it forward and it's saved. Bernd Shipman is up for the task. And now Madison are breaking away the other side. Onan with a flock of Mingos with him. Cheney still going, and Cheney scores from one end to the other. Mingos with 4. From a penalty save to a goal scored, the Mingos are flying here at home. A kick save coming off the legs of Bernd Shipman. And then you could just see it coming. So many bodies going forward, but all they needed was Onan to Cheney, and Cheney blasts it home, scoring goal number 2 on the year. It's the second assist of the day for Jaden Onan. Just an explosion from Madison here. Well, let's take a look at this goal again. For those of you who are soccer nuts, I'm sure that this moment vaguely reminds you of that Watford goal in 2013 against Leicester. Of course, that one with a bit higher stakes, but very similar in penalty save over to the other end. Goal for Christian Cheney. The Troy Deeney goal, that's who it was who scored that one. It looks like it's Jaden Onan who is down and getting treated here. So 5 minutes, excuse me, not 5, about 10 minutes here into this second half. I hope that you all have been entertained by what has transpired because, wow, it has been a doozy. We have had 3 goals and a penalty save and another great save from Mazzola here in just 10 minutes of action. So we've got 3 substitutions for Greenville here as Boyce pushes it forward. Here's Aaron Walker. Walker takes the shot. It's parried away. Shipman with the save. So it'll be Coutinho, Lucas Coutinho coming in for Jacob Labovitz. Liam McKinnon coming in for Alan Gavilanez. And then the 18-year-old Jonah Bigger in for Daniel Wu. All of these substitutions brought to you by Festival Foods. Jonah Bigger getting another appearance, his 3rd of the season. One of those guys who's getting quality minutes. It's one of, I guess, the glaring positives that can come from the negative situation of having a lot of injuries. A young guy like Jonah getting the chance to play. John Harkes called him a quiet guy who's both grown as a player and has literally grown about 2 to 3 inches since he came in last year. Called him a very mature kid with a great work ethic and will play wherever you put him. Played at the, if I remember correctly, at the right back spot in the last game when he started against Tormenta. And he's also played at the 10 with other clubs. So a versatile kid. And John Hark said, I know he'll do great things at South Carolina, the University of South Carolina, that is, which is where he's committed to going. I think at this point now you start thinking those 3 substitutions are a product of minute management for John Harks. They've got a game coming up on Wednesday against Central Valley Fuego, and you want to make sure you can preserve the legs as much as you can for each individual player. Coutinho with the ball in, and it's knocked away by Payne. Here's Bigger. And that's going to be a foul and a free kick for Greenville. Paco Craig leads Miami FC into Kentucky to face Josh Winder in the reigning Eastern Conference winners, Louisville City FC. Don't miss the start of the new season of the USL on ESPN, Saturday, May 13th at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. So Devin Boyce and Tyler Polak await by the ball. Boyce is going to take it himself, and he'll deflect over to the right-hand side. Bigger will let it go out for a corner kick.
Recent substitutions for Greenville. Number 10, Lucas Coutinho. For number 18, Lebovitz. Number 6,
Really just been a crazy game here.
Number 9, Liam McKinnon. In for 23.
You're just tuning in. As you can tell by the score, you've missed quite a bit, and even more so than the score would indicate, I would venture to say, because what won't tell you on the scoreline is a couple of great saves from Jared Mazzola, a penalty save from Bernd Shipman, a wide open goal opportunity missed by Jacob Kroll early in the game. This one's just been a whole lot of everything. So it'll be Boyce from the corner. He's right there with Tyler Polak as well. Didn't even see him there for a moment. As Mauro Cicero, one of the goal scorers, is making his way over to the sideline after getting some tending to from a trainer. Scored the second goal of the day. Happened in the first half in a breakaway opportunity for Madison. Really put them in a comfortable spot. Here's Boyce. And he's got himself another corner kick. Mentioned that game on Wednesday for Greenville. It's just part of that time of the year where the scheduling is super compressed, tight, and it's always tough for every team. Early in the season, you just got weird things schedule-wise you have to handle as Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu trots onto the pitch. It's actually going to be a throw-in. This one's headed around a couple of times. Onan. Now Polak kings it forward. Wheeler-Omiunu couldn't quite clear it out. McKinnon sends into the center. Well knocked away by Kroll. So Mauro Cicero, the man who made his way to the sideline, was subbed out for Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu. And now a free kick for forward Madison. That substitution brought to you by Festival Foods. As Martinez gets fouled. He's still ailing. And now he's back up on his feet. Talking about that compressed schedule with the Open Cup, with just some of the wonkiness of the early season. Some teams trying to start on the road to avoid some of the more brutal winters across League One venues. And that can always be tough to handle, but for Greenville, they've got a lot of guys who have been around this Greenville team for a couple years now, especially that core leadership group. And when I asked John Harkes about how much easier it is to handle that sort of schedule compression when you've got guys like that who not only have done it several times, but have done it with you in your organization, he said, you lean on that a little more. You've got more confidence that you can handle the low points, like how this season has started. And he said, we've been handling it well. We've got a good group. And we've actually got our first yellow card of the day. Jonah Bigger getting his second of the season. That yellow card brought to you by Dairyland. Well, this is not good. I don't know what just happened there, but it escalated dramatically. Things boiled over real quick there. Walker gets pushed to the ground there. And Onan practically staring him down from over top of him. Some word was said that sparked that. Pretty shocking too. It didn't feel like there was anything leading up to that aggression there, and now it looks like there's a very intentful conversation happening. Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu, one of the veteran players on this Madison team, talking to Noah Pilato. I also think it's considered another cool head in this situation, just trying to work out what took place. So that's what happened. There was a bit of an entanglement, and then Aaron Walker shoves Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu off of him. Then more shoving takes place. So now the officiating crew are discussing and figuring out who punishments need to be dealt out to Rebecca Pagan in a situation where she's in her right to consult with other eyes and trying to gather all the information necessary. I would anticipate at least Walker, Andrew Wheeler-Omiunu, perhaps Jaden Onan as well, but that's just my off-the-cuff reaction. I also don't know what was said, and there's a lot of action taking place all around, so they may not be the only ones. There's no reason to speculate further. Just wait for the verdict. So our head official going to talk to our two managers and the two captains. Matt Glazer is not pleased with the verdict. I like to reiterate just how eventful this match has been for now 70 minutes. We've pretty much seen everything that there can be seen in a 90-minute match. Let's find out what the verdicts are. So yellow card to Walker. The yellow card to Christian Cheney. I have to look once again at what Cheney's actions in that whole thing were. And they may not be physical, they may have been words he said, so before assumptions are made that he's an innocent member of this situation. And Jaden Onen has been given the straight red. So with 2 assists, his night is over after the push, the stare down. Wow. So 2 yellow cards as far as everything we were able to see. And then a straight red for Onen. So Madison have a 3-goal lead, but now find themselves down a man.
The following cards have been assessed. For Greenville, a yellow card for number 8, Aaron Walker. For forward Madison, a yellow card for number 9, Christian Cheney. And a red card.
So I think we now know what the reaction from Matt Glazer was for. Probably for when the information was shared that Onen was going to get a straight red. Because the moment those words came out of the official's mouth, both Matt Glazer and Mitch Osmond, the captain, very much had a change in body language. And I said before that there wasn't a lot leading up to that exchange, but now we're going to probably see it any moment players collide. We already saw a little push there from Boyce on Stephen Payne. And Macias is pleading his case for his teammate. Definitely going to be some tension in this one, even if it's not tension of the result variety. Of course, down a man, stories can change quickly. This one's headed down. Coutinho will let it bounce out of play, out for a corner kick. 15 minutes to go, plus we're probably going to get a wealthy dose of added time here. Boyce swings it inside. It's headed upward. Walker goes up and gets knocked to the side. Polak plays it forward. Coutinho out wide. Here's McKinnon. McKinnon's ball a little low and connects with Andrew Wheeler, Omiunu. As Kroll will play clearance. Shaw to Walker. Kroll will slash it up into the air as it's Walker down with it once again. Here's Lee. Evan Lee slices it in the middle, and it's parried away. And that's Sam Brotherton who was able to knock that one out of danger. Gebhardt gets pulled back, and that will be a free kick. And that's going to be a yellow card. Evan Lee will go into the books for the first time this season. Give him the tug there to prevent the breakaway. Well, that's all it's going to take to get you a yellow, too. That yellow card brought to you by Dairyland. I'm not sure this is the way that Matt Glazer would have liked his big personalities on his team to pan out, because I was talking to him earlier this week about how he mentioned last year that playing at Breese Stevens Field, although a great atmosphere, he felt his team felt the pressure to perform because of how great that atmosphere was, and maybe that rattled them a little bit sometimes at home last year. So I asked him, since this was my first chance to talk to him this year, about is this side more equipped for the vibe and the energy that the Madison fans bring? And he said, I like to think so, only time will tell. But he felt that the case was more positive because they had big personalities who thrive off that energy. Now maybe it got the better of them there in that scuffle, I don't know what you want to call it. It's that violent exchange. Got the best of both sides, but in particular Jaden Onan getting the straight red and getting knocked out of the game by the official, not knocked out as in like one of the pushes that took place. That service bounced around a couple times. Burnt Shipman gets there. A lot of things have transpired in this game. We've also, of course, had some action taking place across the league. And we've probably been glued to what's been taking place in this matchup. Richmond and Northern Colorado ended up 0-0. Meanwhile, Lexington and Tormenta have traded a goal apiece, which means Lexington is up 2-1 in the 85th minute. Nico Brown and Owen Green, who have scored for Lexington. Nico Brown, the former Triumph player, and Owen Green scoring against his team from last year. And then if you weren't with us earlier, I gave the update. North Carolina earlier today with the 2-1 victory on the road against the Owls. Big win for North Carolina FC. Evan Lee fighting forward. Now it's Shaw. Shaw over to the right-hand side for Pilato, the goal scorer for Greenville. Their first goal of the season. Walker, his ball is knocked away by Andrew Wheeler Omiunu. This ball comes in and bounce to the hands of Burnt Shipman. Cheney plays it down that right-hand side for Macias. Macias crosses it in the middle, and it's headed on by Martinez, but it's off the mark. Tevin Shaw will play it to Aaron Walker. Walker over the right-hand side for Lee. Lee trying to get by Gebhardt. And that one's cleared away. Now it's Cheney. Aaron Walker gets it over to Evan Lee. Lee floats this one in, and it's well caught by Burnt Shipman. Connected to this team through an agent last year, as Shipman's a little slow to get up, but now he's doing all right. He went for a training session with the Chicago Fire in 2022 and then came and trained with Madison. And Matt Glazer called him experienced, skilled, and most importantly, he's a calming presence. So a very composed player, Burnt Shipman. And he showed his composure earlier when faced with, of course, the adverse situation of a penalty. Got the save, which sparked into goal number 4 for forward Madison. Feels like quite a bit of time has transpired since then. That goal happening in the 55th minute. But I feel like just under 30 minutes is not enough time to quantify how long ago it feels. Martinez gets that one knocked off the ref, and of course, that's a dead ball situation. Couldn't get it through Rebecca Pagan. So it's a drop ball. And a wave off Coutinho. And now we get play resuming again. Guess add that to your bingo card. We've hit the ref and had to stop play for it. And what else are we missing? Gebhardt trying to get by Evan Lee, but Lee does better there. Looks like we're gonna get a substitution here and the debut in Madison colors for Madison. It is Wolfgang Prentice, and he'll come in for Derek Gebhardt on this Festival Foods substitution. Prentice coming in for the first goal scorer today. Prentice, just 22 years old. Matt Glazer said that he's a player that is really quick, great in 1v1s, a dynamic player. And he mentioned how much Prentice impressed him last year when they played Northern Colorado. And they're able to get him here on loan from Oakland Roots, the USL Championship side. Oh, I see once again on ESPN2 May 13th, Lou City against Miami FC, and worth mentioning, Josh Winder, we talked about him at halftime, getting the national team call-up, member of that Lou City team. It'll be worth your time to go and check that out. Of course, May 13th. Still got a little while before that one goes. But Prentice acquired earlier this week for the Mingos, and now able to get the chance to put on the shirt for the first time. And play, at least. McKinnon, a couple of entanglements there. He's still fighting for that ball, and he gets it out to Castro. Castro is able to shrug off one player into the center. And it's knocked away by Shipman. It's one of the most difficult parts of the job as a manager, as McKinnon plays it forward. Coutinho to Castro, and Castro trying to play it near post. It's off the mark. But one of the most difficult parts of the job of a manager, according to John Harkes, is that minute management in these tight compressed schedules, especially when you apply in the variables of players who are hurt or somewhat hurt, and you have to take care of how many minutes they play. And he mentioned certain guys will have more asked of them on Saturday and then others on Wednesday. He mentioned we're just getting there. We're making progress health-wise. We're not there yet. He said in 2 weeks we're going to be really strong. A lot of these players working their way back into the fray of things. And ultimately, as McKinnon plays us up the pitch to Boyce, Boyce will keep it in play. And although definitely feels rough for Greenville right now, 0 points, especially for a side that's pretty accustomed to doing well in this league. Over a month into the season here coming up. But it is only 3 matches. Now, each match is wildly important, and games in March and April mean the same amount as games in September and October do. But the fact of the matter is that there's still a lot of time for things to click together and for the pieces to fall into place. Especially when you're waiting for some key players to make their return. And well, for Madison, this is just the jump they needed. 2 draws, a disappointing loss on Tuesday, and they have come back and come into this game guns blazing with the crowd roaring at their side. This has been all the thunderous electricity and goal scoring that they needed. And for better or for worse, now they get to sit on it for a long time. They don't play next weekend, but then they have an oh-so-big date with the Charlotte Independents, who currently sit at the top of the table. Of course, many things can change in 2 weeks. But win number 1 on the season for Forward Madison. Another substitution here. So this one bobbles around Coutinho, gets that one deflected. So Tevin Shaw comes out, and Alex Cox-Ashwood comes into the game. Boyce swings this one in, and it's able to be kept in play and then cleared out by Macias. Well, actually, maybe that's not the case. The ref deciding that it did cross that byline. So it'll be another corner kick, and there it is. We're gonna get into triple-digit territory here. 11 minutes of stoppage time, brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. We're going into triple figures here. Polak puts this one in, punched away by Shipman, and then booted out of the fray. Well, Madison certainly played quite a bit of football this week. Played 120 minutes on Tuesday, and then are now going to play 100 minutes here, plus the about 7 minutes that we had of stoppage time in the first half. Coutinho still with it, plays it into the middle, and it's too far out of the reach of McKinnon to put on frame. Coutinho. McKinnon plays it in. And how about that jab from Shipman? Now Boyce takes the shot. And another save from Shipman, falling on it. Wants to keep the tally at 1 for the opposition. Devin Boyce trying to slide one in there. Polak bodying off Cheney there. Walker now playing it forward. Cox-Ashwood back to Boyce. Boyce to Walker. Walker floats it up. Maybe too much float though. McKinnon's there for it though. That's well bodied out by Brotherton. Prentice. Back and now cleared. Cheney shrugs off the contact. Christian Cheney with just Martinez, and his pass couldn't slip by Bigger. He had Martinez waiting on the other side. He saw him, he wanted him, but he couldn't connect with him. And that one will slip through for Shipman. So it has gone final in Lexington. Sporting Lexington getting their first ever victory, knocking off Tormenta 2-1 and further entangling the table, which this league just has a compulsion of doing right off the cuff. I just like to laugh at the fact that we've got now 5 teams at 4 points, 3 teams at 5, and then 6, 7, 8 lead the table. Greenville, the only team without a result yet, and it does not look too good for them to get one here. But they do have a chance to turn right around, shake this one off, and play on Wednesday against Central Valley Fuego. So we're in another substitution for Ford Madison. So Macias comes out, and Robert Screen makes his League One debut. This Festival Food substitution. He started on Tuesday, though in the Open Cup matchup, so it's not the first time he's played in a competitive match for Madison. But the 23-year-old from Raleigh, North Carolina, now officially with minutes in league play. Here's Lee. Ford and McKinnon. Liam McKinnon can't get by Prentice there. Actually, that's Kroll. Walker to Boyce. Boyce, inventive to get that one inside, but no one's there for it. Polak plays that corner again for McKinnon. This time Kroll having no business with that one. But if you are a fan that was watching that Lexington Tormenta game, you turn over to this one and you're looking at the score bug. You're seeing 4-1, you're seeing 11 minutes of added time, and you're thinking, what the heck happened? What the heck happened, excuse me? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Obviously, you've got 5 goals. That's that much you could pick apart. We had a penalty awarded, a penalty saved, which immediately turned into a goal for the opposition. We've had a couple of great saves from Mazzola, a couple of good saves from Shipman. And then we had a bit of a fight, scuffle, whatever you want to call it, here in this second half. A couple players got tangled up, some pushes were exchanged. Bodies swarmed into the middle of the pitch, and Jaden Onen, who had 2 assists, was given a straight red card. Madison is down a player. And we have a couple players colliding. Ref laying on here. Prentice across the middle, and Martinez is saved. That surely felt like 5 for the Mingos. But Martinez couldn't get it over Mazzola, who's had a handful of stops this evening. Cheney knocks that one away. Coutinho. Now Castro shoots, and that one goes into the arms of Shipman. We'll take a look at that last chance that took place. Prentice in his debut with Madison, looking for the assist, and Martinez couldn't place it out of the reach of Mazzola. Yeah, we've had goals, penalties, penalty saves, fights, red cards, players with head injuries and changing their jersey number. It's the home opener in league play at Breese Stevens Field, and it has been everything you could see in a soccer game. Not that you would expect to see on any given night, but stuff you know can happen. I can only name there are only a couple of things in my head that I could think of that occur in a game that haven't happened yet, but for the sake of trying to keep those from happening, I will not vocalize them. Maybe in the post-game show. Coutinho working on Payne. Ball into the middle. Prentice clears away. Oh, that's one thing I did forget to mention. One of the things that occurred, we did have an own goal today as well. Stephen Payne providing the play across the center, deflecting off of young defender Daniel Wu. That's another thing that can happen in a soccer match that did happen today. Walker chips it forward. Coutinho still chasing it down. And that came off of Payne and out for a corner kick. And we're about to hit another odd occurrence in football, which is triple digits on the clock. Just 30 more seconds of that, and we know we'll get there. Not the first time it's happened at Breese Stevens Field, but definitely part of the rare few. Mazzola. Looking for Boyce. It's Lee now. Lee trying to shoot. Coutinho has it back again. Trying to slide it through for Evan Lee. Now Boyce with the cross inside, and it's headed away. Prentice trying to clear it. Now Lee inside, and it's poked out of danger by Payne. 100 minutes. Worth reiterating, also had about 7 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Polak lays it back centrally, just lobbing it forward as the clock continues to wind down. Well, if you want to look at this from the economic sense, fans that paid for a ticket got more minutes of game worth than they'll probably get any other game this season, at least during the regular season. I guess, though, when it comes to the two games they've had so far, it's actually the less amount of minutes. I will concede that. I think they'll be much more happy with their money spent today, though. And there's the final whistle. Breese Stevens back into the fray in League One action, and the Mingos brought all the energy. 4 goals, 3 points, and a first win of the season for Forward Madison. As we look at our Festival Foods Man of the Match, Christian Cheney. Kind of tough to pick from many players who had a positive evening, but Cheney scoring a fantastic icing on the cake goal to make it 4-1. Created a bunch of other chances for teammates and had a couple other moments of his own. Was all over the place and ended up getting the award here this evening. Now we can peek at the play of the match, which is brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. Once again, a couple of good choices here, a couple of good goals from Madison and a good goal from Greenville, but it's got to be this sequence. Great save from Shipman. And then all the way down the other way. Own it, breaking. And look at all the blue jerseys dashing down as they go. And then Cheney rips it home. What an exciting sequence of events. Kind of tough to beat a moment like that in this sport. And then also, look at this. Save of the match. Brought to you by Dairyland Insurance. I mean, it's got to be, right? He dove and was still able to get the stop, even though he wasn't exactly diving in the direction of the shot. As both teams now unwind after the final whistle, giving each other all the handshakes necessary. And we will step aside for a break. When we come back, we'll have post-game coverage to wrap up all our thoughts on what was a busy, eventful match. We'll see you on the other side on ESPN+.
Come see how Dairyland fits your life. With affordable car insurance that fits your budget. And 24/7 customer service that fits your schedule. Even if you have coverage lapses or a bumpy driving history, we've got you covered. For 70 years, We've been helping people just like you get the car insurance they need. So why wait? Contact Dairyland today.
Thank you. Hey, excuse me, are you ready? Can I order now? Yeah, okay. I will take a large quad, 2-shot macchiato, no sugar, 2 pumps of vanilla, half pump caramel, non-fat milk, and not too hot, please. Very little ice. Honey, I said just a second. Ow.
Middleton United Rouge is tonight's Unity Point Health Meritor Youth Soccer Spotlight of the night. Thank you, Madison area youth soccer clubs, for your continued support. As we welcome you back here, let's take a look at the full-time highlights brought to you by Just Coffee Co-op. What a game we had here, and it started with this goal from Derek Gebhardt, opening his account this season with Ford Madison. Scored it in the 12th minute, giving them that advantage. They just peppered Greenville with shots and moments and opportunities early in this game. And it wouldn't be too long before, in a transition moment, they would score once again. Onan with the assist. And Sicero heading it home. And then we would get this absolute beauty of a goal from Noah Pilato. Makes it 2-1. This game is back into question. But then Madison would turn right back around and respond with some more goals. Onan wouldn't get this one by, though. Great save from Mazzola. But then Stephen Payne squares it across the middle. Comes off of Wu. Own goal, 3-1. Madison back in control comfortably. Payne will celebrate it. It was his moment. And then we get the award on the penalty. I still am unsure of what the verdict was, what actually drew the penalty. But it did give us this awesome moment. I mean, what a sequence. I mean, I'm running out of words to say about how cool this is. Just watch. I mean, penalty save to goal. Nothing more needs to be said. Great celebration from Cheney. And here's our full-time stats brought to you by Rhyme. Well, I said before the game ended I wasn't going to say some of the things that didn't take place, but I will say them now. No longer have the commentators' jinx to worry about. We had a lot of things take place, as you saw in some of those highlights. We didn't have a weather delay. We didn't have a streaker run on the field, which is always nice because that's just inconvenient. And I guess neither of the coaching benches got a card. I don't know. I'm running out of things to say. I would feel free to Discord and talk about this on Twitter if you want to think about what didn't happen in this game, because so many things did over the, I won't even say 90 minutes. We had about 110 total minutes of action between these two sides, and it was jam-packed full of different things occurring. But with that in mind, the Mingos are on break. Then they'll play Charlotte at home in 2 weeks' time. Complete opposite for Greenville. They turn around on Wednesday and look to right the ship at home against Central Valley Fuego. But for this game, we're finally through it. For our entire broadcasting crew, I'm Mark Schoenster. We appreciate you tuning in. We hope you enjoyed it, or at least were intrigued by it. And we'll see you next time.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League League One cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League League One.